shape the life that you have today, regardless of what a scale says. Happy. I'm not going to wait till I get to a certain weight or a certain whatever, or working out for a certain number of time. I'm going to be grateful for the life I have today. Yeah. So I was an all or nothing player. That was my mindset. I had to go hard or nothing. So back in the days, challenges, I felt like I had to live off of smoothies and salads, but that wasn't realistic for me long term. It wasn't until I came back with your club and started working with a professional nutritionist who told me that there are so many other foods out there that you can eat every day that are nutritious and good for you and going to make you feel satisfied. And when she told me this, I did not believe her. I was like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. And it was just a practice of doing it every day and seeing that, yes, she was right. And I came back to her and I said, I apologize. Your way was right. And, hi there.
Yeah,
My name is
right.
Chrystal, and I want to talk to you a little bit about my healthy living journey. A member with Integrity Fitness from 2014 to 2016. When I left in 2016, I believe that I was at the top of my game in terms of fitness and body image. I left in 2016. I got pregnant. I wanted to come back right after my pregnancy, but I felt embarrassed. I felt I had put on too much weight. I felt guilty. I felt ashamed. I felt that if I came back, I wouldn't be the old Chrystal. I'd be the new Chrystal, and I'd have to start from the bottom and work up. And my pride, my ego, my shame kept me from coming back earlier. I did come back in 2019 with a push from my sister-in-law, and I'm so glad that I did, because I realized that everything that was holding me back was just in my head. Paul, I know you started with a virtual right away, but again, my head told me virtual is not for you, Chrystal. You can't do it. You have kids in the house. Working out at the gym is your me time. You love the music, you love the trainers, you love the people. Virtual is not going to work for you. So I rejected virtual for a long time until I realized that the pandemic, it wasn't going anywhere. So I needed to I had to start off slow, and I worked my way up, but it didn't take as long as I thought because I had kids in the house. But I just set aside that hour. So this is the time that I'm going to do it. For me, I prefer to work out first thing in the morning. It just sets off my day in the right tone, and I feel accomplished after I've worked out. So that's what I've done. Challenges, I felt like I had to live off of smoothies and salads, and I did that for a certain amount of time, but that wasn't realistic for me long term. So I would have a bad day, which led to a bad weekend, which led to a bad month, and just giving up, and then going to the opposite side, binging. So I'm the classic yo-yo dieter. I've tried every fad out there and every gimmick, and it worked for a short time, but long term it did not work for me. It wasn't until I came back with your club and started working with a professional nutritionist who told me that there are so many other foods out there that you can eat every day that are nutritious and good for you and going to make you feel satisfied. And when she told me this, I did not believe her. I was like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. And it was just a practice of doing it every day and seeing that, yes, she was right. And I came back to her and I said, I apologize. Your way was right. And, I'm eating oatmeal with berries and quinoa and shrimp and tons of things. So I did Take Action 13 and Take Action 14. And what I left with was basically a little cookbook of recipes. So we've got 14 breakfasts, 14 lunch, 14 dinners. And I have a collection here, and my collection is gold. And I refer to it every single day. Sorry. I want to create a better relationship with food. And I also wrote on there, I want to get to a certain amount of weight. And that one sentence kept dragging me down. So Allison said to me, Chrystal, take that sentence out. And I took a scissors and I cut that sentence out, and everything else I was doing and was working for me. So why was that one sentence holding me down? I'm in control of my eating habits and my mental health and my physical health. That stress is so much easier to deal with. If I turn to food in that moment where I'm stressed, I feel good for that moment, but I spend the rest of the day feeling guilty. And that comes through on the following day and the following day. So I've learned that yes, you have to take in that moment of stress. I'm talking about little stress, kids fighting, my toddler writing on the wall. I'm talking little everyday stress. You need to take a moment. You need to breathe, go for a walk, call a friend, anything but pick up something that's not good for you to eat. And with Allison's meal plans, you have tons of good recipes like the muffins I had made last week, which are dark chocolate. If I eat that, I feel like I've cheated, but I haven't because they're all good, holistic ingredients inside those muffins. So I just really take a moment and breathe and think through it. And when I feel in control of what I'm doing, stress is so much easier to manage. The gratitude started for me over a year ago when I first came back to your club, and I had to think about my life today versus my life when I left your club. Because when I first came back to your club, my mindset was I want to get back my pre-pregnancy body. I want to get back into my pre-pregnancy genes. And I realized that I may get there, I may never get there, but that doesn't validate who I am or how hard I'm working, because I know how hard I'm working and I need to be grateful for it today. So I would start with writing in a journal, like you had mentioned, and I would do that every morning before the kids got up. I got up an hour before the kids got up. That was my me time, my time to decompress, my time to think about the day, my time to write out what I was grateful for. And it started with small things. I'm grateful for the sunshine coming through my window. I'm grateful for this hot coffee. I'm grateful for this little one snuggling up to me. And then when you get into that mindset, you find things to be grateful for throughout your whole day. And it makes you appreciate the life that you have today, regardless of what a scale says. Many members of my family have passed away over the last few years. I have a family portrait with 10 of us, and now there's 5 of us remaining. And I just realized that life is way too short and too precious and too unpredictable. When I think about my own life and the last 5 years have flown by. And I know the next 5 years are going to fly by. I'm not going to today and realize that my body is perfect the way that it is. When I get up in the morning, I get up with ease. There's no aches and pains. I have energy. If I wanted to train for a marathon, I could. So I need to be grateful for the body and the life that I have today. Action challenges that I participated in, every Friday evening, we had a group Zoom meeting where we connected with you and Allison and all the ladies who were participating in the challenges. And we got together to talk about some of the things that worked really well for us, our strengths, our weaknesses, what, the highlights of our week and the lowlights. And it really, really helped me to realize that I wasn't alone, that, the things that I was struggling with, that many people struggle with. I had absolutely no reason to feel ashamed or guilty because this is life. And, I got a lot of tips. Like one of the ladies mentioned about a pomegranate. Because I'm a snacker. I'm a big snacker. At night when we're watching a movie with the family and they're all having popcorn or chips, she said, I get a pomegranate and I cut it in half and it keeps my fingers busy. And that one tip through that Zoom meeting has stuck with me. And there's tons of little tips and things like that you hear from the other ladies that work for your own life. And I love that. And I even post challenge, I've reached out to some of the ladies to say, I'm having a bad day. I don't feel like working out. And they just gave me that push. Come on, Chrystal, you're doing good. Just try to start or go for a walk, do yoga, do something else. And you need that. You need that push sometimes, and that accountability as well. You need that support group around you that have the same week. And there was nothing more that I could do. And I really felt like throwing in the towel. And I reached out to you and I reached out to Allison. I'm like, I need help with this mental block. It really was a mental block because I was doing everything right, but my mind was telling me for some reason, it's not going to work. Just stop. And I was given the permission to really quantify my success off of the scale. So what am I doing today? I'm sticking to eating whole, nutritious foods that are really nourishing my body. I'm sticking to exercise, which helps me feel good. What does it matter what the scale says? Get off the scale, because there are so many factors that can affect the scale. And that was a huge eye opener for me. It was like a light bulb went off in me, and it was like a weight was lifted off me that I said, I don't need the scale to make me feel successful, like make me feel like I'm achieving something, because I know what I'm doing. And that was huge for me. And if I didn't have my team to help me through that moment, I probably would have given in and said,